It's Saturday afternoon here in Shanghai as the cars are preparing to go out on track to begin qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix. One of the big changes on this year's grid is Fernando Alonso, who's left Ferrari and is now back with McLaren.
Many people would never have thought Fernando would go back to McLaren after the volatile year he spent there in 2007. But back he is, and he'll be wanting to make the most of their renewed partnership with Honda.
Hey, what's up guys, Tommy14 here, bringing you another episode of my Kimi Raikkonen return to form career mode. Now, I just want to mention about Jules Bianchi, of course, who passed away a couple of days ago, and you know, all of us are thinking about his family, his friends. The whole motorsport world is in complete shock, and you know, really unfortunate moment, but yeah, just wow, couldn't believe it when we woke up to hear that. But yeah, rest in peace, Jules, and I wish his family all the best, of course. You know, all his friends that knew him so well. But anyway, coming on to the start of my first qualifying lap, I didn't want to show too much of practice because there wasn't actually anything that happened in practice, so I'm not going to show anything in practice. But coming on to the first qualifying lap now, and I just want to explain that in qualifying I was using a pad because sadly my Thrustmaster TX wheel has been sent back for repairs, so I won't be getting that back for a while. But in qualifying, so I used the pad, see if I could, you know, get used to it. But then in the race I ended up actually going out and buying a lot cheaper version of the TX wheel. Basically it's the 458 Spider wheel, and it hasn't got force feedback or anything, it's just on a bungee cord. But yeah, I could only really get used to the pad for a few like a couple laps or so, like maybe sprint mode races like you've seen in the online videos. But you know, any longer than that, and I really wasn't getting any satisfaction out of it. So even though this wheel doesn't have any force feedback, you know, I still prefer it to using the pad. But anyway, we're coming towards the back straight now, the longest straight on the F1 calendar. And I'd finally found a setup that allowed me to have decent straight line speed compared to the AI. But as you're going to see throughout the whole of this episode, I mess up that hairpin so much. I can't get the braking right at all on this game. I've seen a few people say that it's more realistic and they prefer it. It may well be, but I do not get along with it at all. But initial lap time of 1:37.87, I think that is. But yeah, I didn't, as I said, I haven't done China in ages, so I couldn't really get a bearing on what that was. But we see Sebastian Vettel here bouncing on the rev limiter, coming down to the hairpin. So looks like he's got more of a race setup, I guess you could say, than a qualifying one. But he's going through the final corner, sparks flying from the back of the car in front of him, and he actually goes up to second place, so he's ahead of us, as you can see here. We're faster in every sector bar that last sector again, so I'm not sure where I'm losing time in the last sector because I'm pretty sure it isn't the straight. But we go out for another run in qualifying, so this is our second lap, as you can see there, and hopefully we can get a better one. We've moved down to P3, as I said, Sebastian Vettel second, Nico Rosberg. I think the Mercedes, yeah, they're almost half a second clear of the Ferrari team here in Malaysia, not Malaysia, China. So it's not one of my favourite tracks, if I'm honest, so I thought it's going to be pretty difficult. My aim for this race and for this qualifying was to just beat Sebastian Vettel. As you can see there, I think that's only 1,000th down, or it might be 800th, 1,000th down. I don't know. I can't quite see on the preview thing. But we're coming through this sector now, middle sector, I think this is, and I've got to be in qualifying, I love it, but in the race it is so, I could not bear it at all. But anyway, Lewis Hamilton now moves up to first place with Nico Rosberg second, our teammate Sebastian Vettel in third. As you can see, we're down again in the second sector. I think that's 700ths this time, so really we need to make up all the time we lost in this final sector. I think I lost all the time in the hairpin, so as we saw I lost quite a lot of time actually going around the hairpin, so we'll see if we can get a better time. But they're at 215 mile an hour. I didn't think that was too bad. but as you can see, we beautifully make that apex now. And yeah, we're going down to the final corner. I don't like that glitch where the names come up, but that'll be sorted. We missed the final apex of the final corner, DRS, but it's still good enough for P3.
It's been a mighty qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
It's been a great session for the team. They've really been pushing hard to make this happen, and their hard work has been rewarded.
So there we are, guys, P3 for the Chinese Grand Prix on a circuit I don't particularly like. That's not too bad. Just over a tenth quicker than Sebastian Vettel. As I said, the Mercedes, I think, were out of touch for me. But now we go on to the race, and I had a problem with the recordings where the first lap was sort of buggy, like it was all jumping. But anyway, we're going into the first corner side by side almost with our teammate Sebastian Vettel as we take a very wide line, actually lose the position to him. But now we're coming back down the inside for third place of the Chinese Grand Prix, just behind the two Mercedes. And what I really wanted to do, which I think I'd struggled with in previous races, I wanted to make sure I was within DRS on both of them. So I actually dived down the inside of Nico Rosberg there, but we didn't get the momentum through the corner. We just spent too much of the time sort of on entry, so we lost out a bit of time to Hamilton there. Both me and Nico did, so really that probably was a smart move. But you see smoke coming from the rear tyres there. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but anyway, we're coming through now to the back straight. This is all the replay cam, so this is going to be interesting for me to try and commentate on, if you like. But we dart down the inside of Nico Rosberg there. That was a bold move. I didn't even see that one coming. So yeah, we're not in the DRS zone of anyone now. So I've just gone completely against what I said I was trying to do. But we just need to try now and defend from Nico Rosberg while trying to... Oh my life, bloody hell. We are... Oh, we were determined to keep that position from Nico then. He's still on our inside. I think we slightly banged wheels, but we have got the position. And while that's going on, Lewis Hamilton's just pulled out probably a good second or so on us. And wow, okay, we ran so wide there. That's unbelievable how wide we ran. But anyway, cutting on to the second lap, as you can see, actually 220 mile an hour without DRS. We're darting down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, but again, we're not having that exit momentum like the AI seem to have, so I'm not sure what that's about. But again, we're slightly track extended there. We're in Lewis Hamilton slipstream. We set the fastest lap, 138.3. We've gone to the outside, Lewis Hamilton wheel to wheel, but we make another mistake. We run wide yet again. But so can we try and get an undercut anywhere on Lewis Hamilton here? I'm not sure we're going to be able to be honest with you. But anyway, we're coming now to the end of the first sector, and are we going to dart down the inside? Yes, we are. But are we going to get that? No, again, we're not getting the acceleration out the corners that we'd like. So I don't know whether there was something I did with the setup which meant that was the case, because you can't change your gearbox anymore, like your gear ratios. So I'm not quite sure why that was happening. But anyway, we're in a gear above for every corner because I'm just trying to get used to this new wheel with no force feedback. It's so hard to feel your way around the track. But oh my life, oh, we've hit the back of Lewis Hamilton there, and wow, as you see there, warning collision with Lewis Hamilton. So we're going to try and go into rich mix to catch him, but I think we're too far back this time to get a decent straight line speed. As you can see, my engineer Jeff already saying my tyres are worn, so from me pulling away from, what is that, Bottas now behind us and trying to catch up to Lewis Hamilton, I've already in the third lap worn out my tyres. But now we're cutting on to the end of lap 5, where as you can see I just dart into the pits because I lost so much time to Lewis Hamilton and I was losing time to Bottas as well. So I came into the pits, my tyres were absolutely shot around this circuit. So that's something I think I need to work on for Bahrain, is sort of not just hammering the tyres in like you could in other F1 games. It does seem now you have to genuinely, even though there might be a tiny bit of scripting with when the tyres actually decide to drop off. I think how much they drop off will vary depending how much you push. But we've come out in 17th, but as you can see, we ran wide on the pit exit, and Sebastian Vettel down now to 17th, and Nico Rosberg in 16th. So I'm not sure why those two pitted so early. I think they must have done like a similar strategy to me in terms of actually pitting earlier because their tyres were shot. As we saw from the first few laps, Nico was dropping back so much, and obviously Vettel wasn't able to overtake him. But like now, their tyres are up to temperature while we still have relatively cold tyres, so we're not able to overtake just yet. But I think you'll see throughout the whole of this race a theme of me sort of just hammering the tyres and not really looking after it. I've sort of gone Lewis Hamilton of, say, 2010, just hammering the tyres and then later on having to worry about tyre wear. Whereas now, 2015, 2014, he seems to be very good at looking after his tyres compared to, I don't know, maybe some others. But we're right on the back of Sebastian Vettel now as we've got used to our tyres. But we get understeer mid-corner. But we're going to stick it in standard. We're going to stay in standard because there's no point going in rich. We're going to get the slipstream on him. We've got DRS, and now we go past Sebastian Vettel. He's on the option tyre. Oh, wow. That's a bold call. I'd have expected him to have gone to the prime tyre. I think Nico's on the prime tyre, actually. So Sebastian Vettel, he looks like he's going to have to do a 3-stop for this race. But we're cutting on to lap 9 now, with Danny Kvyat in first place. Everyone had made their pit stops. We're ahead of Lewis Hamilton, surprisingly. We bang his side pod. Thank God there's no side pod glitch like there was in the past, because wow, that would have resulted in a bad crash. But now, cutting to lap 11, and as you saw, Lewis Hamilton was way back, but now he's right on our gearbox. So obviously pitting later, the fresher tyres, plus an OP Mercedes, as we slightly track extend. You know, we're not really, I think this race is going to be hard to win compared to Lewis Hamilton. The only way we're going to be able to do it is if we sort of get undercuts on him, and then we're going to have to defend so hard against this Mercedes. But I keep making mistakes in that hairpin, and now he's right on the back of us. And is he going to look for a move down the inside here? Wow, we cut away. But on lap 12, it looks like he didn't, but we're defending. We turn in, and he just didn't back out of that. We were entitled to have that line. He just didn't back out, so he's had a half spin. Felipe Massa in second now is ahead of him. And wow, okay, I did not expect, when I was at the moment, I did not, like, I saw he was to the left initially, but I thought he backed out like way before. I didn't think he was half-heartedly gone into it. So really, I've got to say that was Lewis Hamilton's fault. He's kind of made a mistake win the Chinese Grand Prix. So do we have a possibility of a race win because of that? I'm not sure how far back he is to Felipe Massa. I don't think he's that far back, actually. I think it was only a half spin. So it looks like we've still got pressure from Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa, as now we have cut on to lap 13 here, and Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton are less than 2/10. But what's that? Massa has slowed down. We're going to have a look at the replay here. What has gone on with... He's had a puncture. He's had a front right puncture. He parks it on the apex and just completely blocks Lewis Hamilton from getting a good corner. So we're going to watch this from Lewis Hamilton's view here. We're just behind us. Felipe locks up because of his puncture, and he just parks it there, and we again, and we're now pulling away from Lewis Hamilton as he's stuck behind. But now we cut on to lap 15, where Lewis Hamilton jumped us in the pit stops again, and Felipe Massa is holding him up again. So we're going to get a chance to go down the inside. That's it, we squirt our car. Wow, I can't believe I just said squirt. We've just put our car in front of Lewis Hamilton, and now lap 15, our tyres, again, they are gone, completely gone. As you can see, look at the lock I'm having to put in. I think that's a feature with this wheel, actually, because it doesn't have the full 900 degree, it has like, I think 240 degree or something. The kind of lock you need to put in through some of these corners, look, as you can see, full lock for that would be a Monaco hairpin kind of thingy. So I'm not sure how to change that. I might need to look into that. But Lewis Hamilton, mid-corner before the straight, he's just breezed past us. So we're going to try and get his DRS, the slipstream but we pulled up alongside him. He's on the option tyre, so that's why he was so much quicker. He was pulling us in at like about 4 seconds a lap, because our tyres are off the cliff. His are pretty much brand new, and he's just gonna go now. So lap 15, are we gonna come in this lap? We do indeed, and we set another set of prime tyres on the car, because now we're gonna have, I think that's 13 laps for the prime tyres. So I don't think that's too long a stint. I think we should be able to, again, we'll have to manage the tyres towards the end, but if we do some pretty decent defending, I reckon we can get away with this strategy. So 2.4 second stop, that's pretty good for the Ferrari guys. Again, they've been kind to me with the pit stops this year. But now we're coming out of the pit lane, and as you can see to the left, Valtteri Bottas has gone past us for the final podium position. With 12 laps to go, I think he's on pretty worn tyres, so actually we should be able to get past him, hopefully within this lap. But yeah, that's down to 4th place, so the only traffic we've got is Valtteri Bottas ahead, so we've made sure that we're not behind Kvyat and all that as we go for a lunge. And I just had a quick glance there of Valtteri Bottas on the option tyres, so I believe his tyres are pretty damn worn now. So we're going down this straight now, and we're on the hunt for Daniel Ricciardo's doing a brilliant job in 2nd place, as now we cut onto lap 18, and the undercut really has worked for us. We're even ahead of Lewis Hamilton here, and Daniel Ricciardo's only just behind Lewis Hamilton. That's he's having a good race so far, Ricciardo, but we're a good, I want to say 5 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton here, so I'm not quite sure how we've had a 5-second jump on him. Maybe he's had a slow pit stop for all I know, but we're coming through now. Lap 18, the gap to Lewis Hamilton is 5.4 seconds, so the gap is 5 seconds. Ricciardo 2.5 seconds behind a Mercedes, but unfortunately it's short-lived. We cut onto lap 22, Lewis Hamilton right behind us, not even with DRS yet. We are trying to defend as much as we can, but that Mercedes power is too much for us. I was trying to do a mantle and go down the inside, but we almost hit the back of Roberto Merri, and we caught him, or I caught him rather, at the wrong time, because I wanted to get his DRS. But as you can see now, I've had the DRS from Lewis Hamilton, but now Hamilton's got DRS from Roberto Merri. So that was going to be my plan, to do what Lewis has just done, but unfortunately, as I said, Lewis has just done what I wanted to do. So it's going to be really hard to get past the Mercedes now. We're on worn tyres, he's on newer tyres. So lap 23 out of 28. We've got a decent gap to Daniel Ricciardo, who's been dropping back. So there we are. Let's have a look at the gap. I believe it was around 6 seconds, as we're going to ask the engineer. 6 seconds now is the gap, but what? Lap 25 out of 28, and we've got a puncture. I don't believe it. We've got a puncture, and we come back to the pits now, lap 25, the end of lap 25, and 3 laps to the end of the Grand Prix, we was in a comfortable 2nd place, and now we are going to drop down the order like a bomb. Of course, we had to go down that whole straight in just doing 70 mile an hour, so we have lost so much. We're almost outside the points at this point. We're 9th place, and well, unbelievable glitch there of a Lotus, I believe that was, and we've had the 2nd gear glitch coming out the pits. It's just gone bad to worse. The end of this race, it was going to be a comfortable 2nd, but we go down the inside of Sainz on fresh tyres. At this point, I am a madman on the loose, trying to get any sort of points, but I want more than... What the hell has just happened to Fernando Alonso? What? Oh my life. Anything happens in Formula 1, and it usually does. The words of Murray Walker, and he is spot on with that. What the hell? Oh my life. Christ almighty. We're in 9th place though, and I think the gap now to Jenson Button, with just 2-3 laps to go, we are pushing like mental, and the gap is 10.4 seconds to the McLaren Honda. So now we really need to push to get on the back of that 4-car train, which our teammate Sebastian Vettel is leading. So we need to catch them up by preferably before the final straight of the final lap, because otherwise we need to be in DRS to get near them, really. Otherwise we might be stuck with just 2 points at the end of this race after all we've been through this race. And what's happened, to get 2 points would definitely be a middle finger to me. So I am pushing like a hell, as Jarno Trulli would have said. I'm disappointed with that result. As you can see, Kimi Raikkonen's disappointed with the result. So 2 tracks that I don't like with 2 bad results. Hopefully we can bounce back in Bahrain.
A great drive from the world champion Lewis Hamilton. On days like today, he's just unbeatable in that Mercedes.
They have been working really hard, and today they got their reward. Superb work from both the team and its driver.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So there we are, guys. We actually got 8th place, as Sebastian Vettel had penalties which dropped him down. We had a 5-second penalty. I think it was for the collision with Hamilton early on, but we only got a warning, so I'm not quite sure where we got that. But Mercedes getting a decent haul of points, where Ferrari only getting 6 points from this race. As we can see, we've dropped down to 4th in the Drivers' Championship, and Sebastian's dropped down to 6th. So really not good for our championship hopes, but we are still ahead of our teammate, which is my personal objective. But if we can go for the championship later on, that would be great. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like. I mean, obviously it's a bit it was hard to do this because of Jules Bianchi, so show your respect, obviously. You know, the Henry Surtees Foundation, I'll leave a little description of that in the description. I'll leave a link to where you can make donations. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe. Till next time, take care.